Lawrence Alexander is our guest in studio on the Mike McFeely Show on KFGO. I talked to Saul Phillips last night, former coach, the guy who is the head coach when you were recruited and brought to North Dakota State. He left after last year, of course, went to Ohio. But he relayed a story to me because we were talking about you last night on the phone. And he said, when Lawrence came to campus, one of the first times that he was in practice with me, he looked at me and said, Coach, I'm going to be the player of the year in this conference one day. He said, you were unrecruited by a lot of other schools. You came to NDSU. This was one of your options. And you looked at the coach and said, I will be the player of the year someday. As it turned out, you were. You were the Summit League player of the year this year. Is that story true? Did you do that to Coach Phillips?
Correct. And actually, when I walked in, he asked me, it's like, what are your goals while you're here? I was like, well, this year, I want to be I was a freshman at the time. I was like, this year I want to be a newcomer of the year. And he looked at me like I was crazy or something. But I had a straight face, like, I'm going to be newcomer of the year. And then I also was like, by my senior year or before then, I want to be the player of the year. And he still had this confused look on my face. And as a coach, a freshman coming in telling you that, you kind of surprised. But that was definitely a true story. That's one of the first things I told Saul.
So what allowed you to do that? Because you were a good player for 3 years, there's no doubt about it, but then you lost all your teammates. What allowed you to become that player to average, 20 points a game? You shot threes like crazy all year, even with the couple of tough games you had in the Summit Tournament. How did you get so much better?
Honestly, I got to give credit all to Dave and even Woody, Ben Woodside when he was here. Dave told me the reason why Taylor and Ben became player of the year because, they competed every day in practice. Out of my 3 years here, I never been a great practice player. I always been a type of guy, brings in games. But that's one thing Dave really challenged me this year is practice how you play. And once I start practicing how I play, I feel in the games, a lot of things start become a lot easier for me.
Well, you may not tell me all of the details of your conversation, but Saul Phillips last night, when I was talking to him, you called him. And so he had to hang up on me. So clearly you're far more important in Saul's life than I am. And I don't blame him for that. What did you guys talk about, if you wouldn't mind sharing?
He was just saying, he's really extremely proud of me and congratulating me on, my 4 years or even this year. And, and like I said before, he just congratulating me, saying, I have a great year good year this year so far. And hopefully, we go in the tournament and make some noise. But it's a couple places. I forgot. I can't name them off the top of my head, but last city I do remember was, he said Columbus. If you say we happen to go there, he said he'd come there with his chest painted. So I'm hoping we go to Columbus so I can see that.
God, I hope to see it. I'm going to write a letter right now to the NCAA saying, please put the Bison in Columbus so Saul Phillips will have his chest painted. That would be worth the price of admission.